This is episode 157 of the Fortean Slip, and I am barely awake. Welcome. Steve, it's been a while. How are you?
I'm good, but why are your pajamas hanging from the fucking window there?
Because that's how we do it here in the sticks. And that's
It
why.
looks like you just woke up, took your pants off, and just threw them over the fucking curtain rod.
It's pretty close. It's
You know, I have a pair just like that, except they're green and white, of course.
yeah. Well, it doubles as a window shade. You know, I can take it off the window and wear them as a pair of pants. It works out very well.
Nice.
Richard, how's things in the UK?
Same as always. I had to spend all day dusting my castle.
As you should.
Heating things up.
How do you keep algae out of your moat?
Well, basically, with duckweed, we have to use a combination of permaculture and plants that keep algae out naturally.
Do you oil the drawbridge daily, or is that like a monthly, weekly thing?
It's a weekly thing. The hardest thing is keeping the dragon away from the tower.
How do you manage the peasants?
Peasants are pretty easy to manage. You know, you just throw bread at them every once in a while and say, I think about you, and they'll leave you alone.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
That's some interesting shit.
They do a similar thing. They do a similar thing here in the States.
Now, Steve, you were asking me before the show if I had been contacted by someone.
Oh, no. Just somebody's been listening to our show.
Oh. Do we want to give that?
I don't know.
Is that person of any importance?
Well, I don't know. Is the state of Colorado of importance?
It could be.
It's a cool state. They have prairie dogs.
He goes by the name of Colorado Seeker. He reached out to me, said he was a fan of the show, so that was it. I just wondered if either one of you had heard from him.
I was wondering if either one of you guys had spoken to him. No, I haven't.
All right, well, that's it. That's all.
I've not spoken to Mr. Colorado Seeker that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I answer a lot of people in the comment section. So.
You see, I don't answer in the comment section, so maybe that's why they seek me out on Facebook.
Oh.
You know, we're still getting comments on that Mick West show.
Yeah, the Mick West show is a comment smorgasbord on YouTube. It's I can't tell who sometimes I can't tell who the flat earthers are and who the flat earthers aren't. It's just a big amalgamation of shit.
What I like about Mick West is if you interview the guy, he brings his own set of people.
That he's Mick West. That's what I like about Mick West. That he's Mick West.
Yeah, he brings his own commenters to the YouTube stream.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean,
willingly or not.
It's probably I can't say for fact that it's the most commented on show that we've ever had, but it's got to be pretty fucking close.
I
bet it is.
I would say it is the most commented on show.
Yeah, I can't say for sure, but it's got like 70 something or 80 comments on it.
But if you boil it down to its basic level, it's just 50% of the comments are people saying the Earth is flat, and the other 50% is people saying it isn't. Yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous. And there's people in there like hollering to the heavens, for fuck's sake, about how Mick West is a piece of shit. I couldn't believe how many people were on there like, he doesn't fucking do his due diligence. Fuck him.
He was like so
what kind of due diligence do you have to do?
Eat shit and bark at the moon. The man gave us like I don't know how many different instances where you can check to see for a fact that the Earth is a fucking marble spinning in space. But, you know, what do I know?
Apparently it's not. Apparently it's completely flat.
It's
So
fucking
saith
flat.
the flat earthers.
It's a fucking pancake. For fuck's sake.
On the back of 4 elephants who sit on the back of a turtle.
Fuck the turtle.
I like the snow globe theory best.
Fuck the turtle.
Flat, but with a dome.
How about fuck your moose, Chris?
My moose.
Yeah. Fuck
I don't have any
moose.
I don't have a moose.
You live in the state of Maine. There's got to be a moose there.
There's got to be a moose there, and fuck it.
There's
So
more
fuck
than
'em.
one.
Yeah. Fuck those moose.
There's a lot of moose.
Is it moose?
No, it is not. You fucking jackass. It's moose.
Is it mooses?
No,
Well, even if there's more than one.
it's just moose.
Well, how do you tell if there's more than one or not? Hey, look at that moose. Or do you?
It would be those moose,
Oh,
Steve.
well, fuck those moose.
No. Yeah, fuck those moose. I'm going to go with Steve. It's meese. Many meese.
It's not.
No, meese, I think, is the plural of mouse. So it can't be the plural of moose, too, can it?
Yeah.
Are you too seriously gonna go down this fucking rabbit hole?
Why not? Can you think of a good reason not to?
I mean, I just woke up, but seriously, really?
Really, this is happening. We're having the moose conversation.
We're not gonna.
We discussed it before the show when you weren't in here.
Oh,
That
did
we were
we?
going to, yes, discuss the moose. And we did.
I'm
there.
so glad that we fucking got that out of the way. I didn't even have a fucking show topic. Richard hasn't done any of his fucking work since he's been named producer of the Fortean Slip.
Like
Since-
monsters.
Hey, what? When
Since
did
he
that
was-
happen?
Since he was forgiven for all of his digressions.
No,
You never
When was he
explained to me what my discretions were either.
Much like a man at the end of his life, begging for forgiveness from God, Richard, in one fell swoop with the Mick West interview, has saved himself from utter ruin.
So all I would have had to do to be co-producer or producer of the show is to get Mick West.
You're the fucking co-host, asshole.
But I want to be producer too.
And I do have a show topic, dingus.
No,
Like
wait.
monsters.
And Steve, in order to be a producer, you actually have to produce something. I.e., you'd have to share the show, promote the show, do something besides sit there and puff on your electronic dick.
I
Steve's
talk
the
about the show on
talent.
occasion if somebody messages me. Yes, I'm the talent. So there.
Steve doesn't have to do any of that stuff. He has to turn up. He has a separate trailer than us. He has all the green M&Ms taken out of every M&M packet for him. You know, because
I like the green ones.
If Steve's the talent, then the producer should fucking hang himself.
I want to know when Richard was actually named producer. I wasn't even in on that decision.
I want to know what digressions I committed.
Digressions? Let's see. You've never produced the Fortean Slip screenplay.
I did. I told you I found it, and you told me to keep it a secret and never bring it up again.
I did not.
I can show you the message, you liar.
I never said such a thing. You when doing a show with just myself, you don't know how to manage dead air.
No, I don't.
I forgive you all these things, Richard. I forgive you.
Thank you.
Steve, our last show without you was a shit show.
It was worth.
I know.
Anything.
It was
I listened to
the
it.
biggest bag of shit that I have put out on
Steve?
YouTube.
So why should I have to do anything? All I have to do is show up, and the shows are great. That's it.
Well, they're better. Well, yeah, this goes back to you being the talent.
Steve, the fact of the matter is that you and I have been doing this a lot longer than Richard's been on the show.
Well, Richard's been on long enough. He should know by now.
And you and I know how to make the conversation work. Richard struggles.
I don't. Some days I'm not sure that the conversation is actually working. But
when I had to dump out of the show, Richard.
I know Richard just basically ended the fucking show. It was like,
and then I'm still listening to him. I had ended the fucking show, and he's like, "Yeah, let's open it up to the chat room." And I'm sitting there going, "Motherfucker, you're not talking to anybody."
It still says live on my thing.
It was a good effort, and it was still live because I heard that part.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
I think.
I think I'd shut off the show at that point.
Yeah, I know it was live for a couple of minutes. I actually listened to an episode of the Fortean Slip because I wasn't on it.
That's amazing. I never thought that would happen.
But it wasn't that good. It wasn't good at all.
Is that an elf doll?
That is an elf doll.
Oh.
You want him?
Fucking elf. No, I don't. I'm not going to pay you.
I'll send him to you for nothing.
Can't even give that shit away.
I barely can hold down a place for more than a couple of weeks, Steve.
Well, when you have a place for 3 weeks, you contact me and give me the address of it.
And I'll be able to have an elf doll.
No, I found out at a yard sale, actually.
Oh, that's good.
I had to pay up for it. He's my little buddy now. He's not getting sold. So.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear.
I would give him away. I would give him away to you, Chris, but I would not sell him. He's not for sale. Oh, unless the money's right, of course.
Unless the money's right.
Yeah, that's usually the way that it is.
But I had one when I was a kid, so it's kind of cool to have one again.
An elf doll?
Oh yeah, everybody had a fucking elf doll.
I didn't have an elf doll.
Well, not everybody led a sheltered childhood like you did.
I had elf comic books.
I didn't have an elf doll in 1988 when the doll came out. I had it in like 1993 when my parents found one at a yard sale. But still.
Alf, that fucking furry thing with the pig nose.
Yeah.
Yes.
That thing gave me nightmares when I was a kid.
He fits in with the subjects of the show, though. He's an alien, and
he ate cats.
He loves cats. See, I think the producers of Alf took their cues from like Garfield, but made it the opposite.
I wish our producer would take a cue from fucking Bud Dwyer.
Richard's the producer, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm the talent, so you didn't say talent.
I don't get the reference.
And you're the co-host.
We talked about it on the last show. We talked all about Bud Dwyer. Wait, was Richard on that show?
He shot himself on live.
Oh, yeah.
Television.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the joke works so much better when I have to fucking explain it to you.
Well, it wasn't a very good joke then, was it?
No, I thought it was a great joke.
I thought it was funny.
You thought wrong then.
Just because you're not in on it,
that
doesn't mean shit.
True. So, Lake Monsters. Go, Steve.
We did Lake Monsters like a couple shows ago.
We didn't. Again? We only mentioned it briefly.
We talked about Champ.
Oh, yeah, we talked about Champ.
And then after that show, in the Hangout, you were like looking up a bunch of Lake Monsters and said, "Oh, Chris, we should totally do a show about Lake Monsters."
No, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Steve.
When are we going to do that show?
Now.
Oh. No, it's just that if you go
on that show currently, Steve.
Oh, if you go to Wikipedia, they have a page just dedicated to lake monsters. Because every single lake, there's even pond monsters. You know, like real small little monsters. Isn't the bunyip a pond monster, basically?
It's a pond. It's not really a pond. It's a billabong monster.
A
And a
billabong?
billabong is what?
It's it's like a marshy, pondy oasis thing.
See, a pond monster.
Not really a pond. You can't.
You just said pond.
Pondish. It has pond-like qualities.
Okay, so pond-like monster then.
But yes, it is a billabong monster. But it's like a spirit, and the best description I could find was a giant starfish.
So even the billabongs have lake monsters, but they're basically pond monsters. But they're not really pond monsters; they're marsh monsters.
Listen. You don't want to go down this road, Steve. You don't want to start arguing Australian diction. It leads to madness. Just accept it and move on.
As Australian diction, you all sound the same.
Oh,
You accuse us Americans of butchering the language. What about them? What about the Australians?
They get a free pass.
Whoa!
What
Whoa!
for?
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Okay. We have two countries.
No. You shit on Australians every chance you get, and you're giving them a pass.
Wait. Let me explain. Okay, you have two countries. One is a country full of self-entitled liberals, and the other is a country filled with people descended from murderers and rapists. Who gets the free pass?
You're giving the free pass to the liberals?
No, I'm giving it. Oh. Very well done.
I'm just fucking with you. No, but it seems like every fucking lake there. What we got? Ogopogo.
That is the name.
I think he actually is giving the Australian people a pass because of the Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah. Well, I would too.
I think that's all it has to do with. He likes the Tasmanian tiger. That's all it is.
It is my favorite cryptid.
He likes the Australian cryptid, but he doesn't like the fucking American cryptids.
Is there a
Not
lake?
even a single one.
Is there a lake monster in Australia?
There is.
Yeah, the bunyip.
That's the bunyip.
Not just the bunyip. There's another lake monster as well. I think it's called the Barringer. It's a large dinosaur. It's not a plesiosaur.
Now, are these things much like all of the other wildlife in Australia? It's specifically designed to kill people.
That's not true.
Bullshit. The fucking spiders that fucking their venom literally can fucking just kill people.
Have you ever seen a kangaroo punch a guy? I mean, come on.
Kangaroos can fuck people up. What are you talking about?
Australia has the only country with a spider that has venom designed to target primates. That's true. And yeah, true, a lot of the animals will kill you, but you know, some of the sheep are all right.
You would know.
Did we go there? Did you just sit in that fucking dog shit?
Well, no. I'm saying that if you ask for a list of animals that aren't dangerous in Australia, you get a piece of paper that says some of the sheep. And I'm not references having sex with sheep. That would be New Zealand.
We have listeners in New Zealand. Now you just fucking...
Again, just sit in that bag of shit for a minute.
Okay, I'm sitting.
Lake monsters.
Right.
That's the topic of discussion this evening. So glad Richard's right on it.
We should have had, who we should have had was Jay again.
Jay Cooney?
Yeah.
I think
he's the lake monster guy.
Jay Cooney wouldn't give us the time of day now if
he started his career, right?
His career or what?
I don't know.
What career is that?
No, I haven't heard from him in a while. He's still posting though. I mean, he posted some pretty impressive Polaroid snapshots of a lake monster. I didn't really read what it was about, but you could see the in each individual photo that the thing was moving, and it had a long neck, and it was pretty cool. But I didn't get the history on the photos, so I don't know if they're real, fake, what. But they were pretty impressive as far as Polaroids go.
Huh.
What did you do to Jay Cooney? Why wouldn't he give you the time of day?
Well, as with most people that do this show at one point in time, they wind up not doing the show and never really speaking to us again.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, like we'll never hear from Mick West again.
No, I sent him an email and he never responded, so no.
Yeah. It's all right.
Why would somebody of his stature even do our show in the first place? I mean,
ignorance. He didn't know what we were about.
You sent him links.
Yeah, he probably didn't listen.
That was stupid. Well, maybe he didn't do his due diligence. Maybe they're right.
I'm just saying, the fact that he came on the show at all means that he didn't listen to the links. Or maybe he was annoyed at my flat earthers deserve to die theory. I don't know.
I'm sure there was some statements made on that show that probably didn't sit well with him. I'm sure, because every show is like that, in one way or another.
Every show's a
what doesn't sit well with somebody.
Shit.
I mean, yeah. Well, no. I mean, like tonight, Richard shit on all the people from New Zealand, for example.
Richard's always shitting on somebody.
What? The people from New Zealand have sex with sheep. It is a well-known fact.
Everybody in New Zealand has sex with sheep. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Everybody?
It's a fact. Scientific fact. They've done studies.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me? Well,
No.
let me toss some numbers at you.
I don't care what you throw at me.
By the way, Ogo Pogo is from
That's
Canada.
the coolest name.
He's Canadian. And he lives in Lake Okapagogion or something like that. Okanagan.
It has the best name of any cryptid.
But even in this, yeah, I know, no doubt. Even in small lakes like Seneca Lake in New York, there's a lake monster. So every fucking lake has one.
Well,
you see how I got off that New Zealand sheep fucking thing?
Yeah, no, it was very smooth. Sort of ruined by the fact that you drew attention to it, but apart from that, 10 out of 10.
But it doesn't seem to matter where you go. Even in the Ukraine, there's lake monsters.
Why do you have a fucking pen in your hand or marker?
It is the mark of excellence. I don't know.
So
I thought you were trying to look intelligent.
If we could try and stay on topic for like more than 5 minutes. What do you think lake monsters actually are?
I don't know, but Lake Ontario has at least 2 different lake monsters, by the way.
2. Well, what do you think they could be mistaken? A case of mistaken identity. What animal could possibly be what these lake monsters are often described as? Most of them are plesiosaurs, right?
Well, it doesn't have to be an animal. I think sometimes you can see a big old floating log in the water and think it's a fucking lake monster. But I think the most common perception is a plesiosaur, right?
Yeah, well, that's the most common theme.
But a lot of times when you see the pictures of these things, it's just an effect of the water, like waves sometimes, just the way it looks, or the currents under the water causing a shape, or a log floating in the water, or some guy with a little sailboat out there or something. I don't know.
Or ice.
Ice could, well, I don't know. How come you don't see too many lake monsters in the wintertime? That's right.
Vanilla Ice?
Dun, 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 dun.
Did you ever see Vanilla Ice's Home Improvement show, where he like?
No, I didn't catch it, but I heard about it.
It wasn't too bad, actually. It was all right. He like goes in and buys an old house and fixes it up and flips it.
Does he like completely rip off someone else's style and then claim that it's something original?
Pretty much, because that show's been done 1,000 times on like HGTV or something.
That's his whole thing, you know.
Hmm.
I like Vanilla Ice back in the day.
Okay, Richard, continue. And if
Rip
this
Van
brownie,
Winkle is his real
if
name,
this
I think?
brownie kicks in before we're done talking about lake monsters, it should get interesting.
All right, so sturgeons. There's a good example of a large freshwater fish. Do you think it's possible that people can be
A surgeon?
sturgeon?
Oh,
How big does a sturgeon get?
They get pretty big, like 15 feet.
I suppose it's possible then. How many lakes with lake monsters have sturgeons in them?
Well, Loch Ness has sturgeon. I mean, I know that for a fact.
Okay, so that's one lake.
I'm sure there's some in many Canadian lakes. They're cold water fish. I mean, Lake Champlain has sturgeon in it.
that's
Right.
amazing.
I don't know. I'd
Interesting.
have to do a. Go ahead.
It's interesting because Champ appears on the Canadian Lake Monster Cryptid list as well as the American one.
Well, of course he does. He's the champ.
It's saying, you know, he emigrates. And the Canadians have one called Cressy as well, which I just feel is completely unoriginal.
Well, most if you look down that list of lake monsters on Wikipedia, I'm sure there's other lists somewhere. Most of them end in Essie, because obviously the most famous lake monster is Nessie.
What about
So
Wessie?
everybody ripped that off. Wessie's a snake.
So, still could be considered
And he has
a
nothing.
water cryptid.
He was nowhere
It's on a
near
river.
water.
It's on a river.
Well, there's a river there,
Yeah.
but Wessie wasn't. Wessie was seen on dry land, not in the water.
No, it was
as far
seen
as
on
I
the
know.
bank. It was seen on the bank of the river.
On the bank.
Oh, if I remember correctly, it was eating like a beaver or something.
I like to do that.
Ha 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 ha. Jesus.
I like
fucking
Wessie
Christ.
a little bit more now. Just saying.
Ugh.
I don't think Wessie would be considered a lake monster at all, or even a river monster.
You disgust me.
Are there river? No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
There are river monsters. There's a whole show about it.
Well, why?
That's Jeremy
they're
Wade.
fish, right?
Who doesn't fucking like Jeremy Wade?
It was. I
I don't
was
even-
expecting to hate that show, but I really loved it.
He's a
Jeremy Wade
man's man.
was awesome. Yeah.
I never saw it. I don't even.
The
know
way
who
he
Jeremy
takes
Wade
it
is.
all so utterly seriously was just so great. Yeah. Love that show.
We should get Jeremy Wade on the show.
Yeah, okay.
I bet you could.
Could you,
Richard,
could you work on that? You are the producer.
I'll get a Jeremy Wade on the show.
Oh. Thanks, man. I'm glad you're willing to go out there and really push forward the Fortean Slip model.
I think we're at a peak. I don't think it can be pushed forward much more.
We're on the downward spiral. Is that what you're saying?
I think since day one.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys started at the bottom, and then after years of saving, scrimping, and pushing, you eventually ended up on the bottom. It's like a rags to rags story.
Steve ended up being a bottom.
Ooh,
But-
edgy.
No.
Steve, I told you that I would be the one to throw out the fake rumor that you had a gay lover.
No, but you just said on a live broadcast that it's a fake rumor. So
That's okay. I mean, with the way news is these days, it'll work.
Edit it. Make it sound.
Cut out the part where I say that it's a fucking farce, and
But you were
all of a sudden you're a gay man.
You've been throwing out that rumor for 4 years now, and it's not taken.
And someday someone can do a
obviously-
documentary about the fact that maybe you weren't gay.
Oh, well, yeah.
Maybe. You gotta keep
There's
it,
anything wrong with
Steve. Steve, you should keep it ambiguous. You should be like Pat from Saturday Night Live.
That was
back
one
in
of
the
my
day.
favorite characters. I love that character.
Of course you did. In fact, Richard could be like Pat. We don't know. We've never seen him.
I have never laid eyes on Richard.
Never seen the man. Never spoken to him face to face. Don't know that he's a man.
I could be a leprechaun.
How do we know
You've had-
which? How do we know which gender pronoun to give Richard?
Well,
That's my question.
it's a good point.
I
How
think he's
do
probably
you?
had gender therapy to make his voice a little deeper. Is that what they call it? Gender therapy now?
Should we should we make sure when speaking about lake monsters that we're giving them the correct gender pronouns?
I don't think you're allowed to anymore, isn't it? Discrimination.
I don't
To
know.
To use the proper gender pronouns?
To use any gender pronoun.
How do we know Nessie's a guy? Because that's a pretty feminine name, I'd say.
Yeah.
Nessie. I mean,
Is that what we've gone to?
I think it's almost like Nelly.
While we're talking about gender pronouns, your president, he's amazing, isn't he? Come on, let's have some love for Trump.
He's the best, that Trump. Just ask him, he'll tell you.
Wait, what did he do now?
Well, you didn't see his tweet about not letting trans people into the military.
No, I haven't seen that one.
He's the best.
He manages to piss off so many people on a global scale. I mean, I'm not gay or anything, but I think I'd do him. He's just that awesome.
He pisses off people, and R. Kelly used to piss on underage girls allegedly, and now he has sex slaves. So allegedly.
Interesting.
Yeah. You didn't catch that story, Steve?
No.
R. Kelly supposedly like grabbing these young girls like at age 18, 19. He's moved up.
So they're legal.
They're legal.
It's still kidnapping, Steve, even if they are of legal age.
No. Well, I mean, it starts. It's at least a thing. I mean, wasn't it underage girls before?
It's at least a thing.
Allegedly, Steve.
I mean, at least he's trying to keep it legal, legal-ish.
So statutory rape's not okay, but kidnapping's perfectly fine in Steve's world. Let's get it.
He did marry an underage girl.
Did he actually kidnap these girls?
No, I guess there's no kidnapping involved, but they get it's almost like a cult. They can't tell anyone where they are. They can't really leave. Supposedly, when other people come over, they have to turn and face the wall so that no one could see how good looking they are. It's some pretty weird ass shit going on.
But they're there willingly.
But I don't know what that has to do with lake monsters. Richard, could we bring it back around?
Every time.
Well, you brought up Trump, and that's where we went off. And somehow
it came up naturally because we were talking about gender pronouns, and I just wanted to give out some love to the man that's pissed off the world. The ultimate troll. But yeah, we'll go back to lake monsters. What about giant catfish? Now, catfish can get pretty fucking big, and there's one in Norway that eats swans. So, could they be mistaken for lake monsters? Your thoughts, Chris?
Oh.
Okay. Your thoughts, Steve?
Oh, wait. Now it's just me and Richard because Chris froze. Yes. That's
yes.
it. Just, yeah. Of course, any large lake-dwelling creature could be mistaken for something else, just like bear could be mistaken for Bigfoot, or dogs, mangy dogs can be mistaken for chupacabras, right?
Well, they can't be because there's no such fucking thing as a chupacabra.
No, but they still can be mistaken. And we don't know that there's a such thing as a lake monster.
Well, lake
Right?
monsters is something I actually buy into, or at least sea monsters. If he's dumped out of the hideout, is this even going out anymore? Because
I don't know. We're going to still talk about it as if it is. That's how you run a show, Richard. You're the producer. You should know that.
Well, I'm not the talent. Okay. So
well, the talent shouldn't be the one directing the program here.
Okay. Well, I buy into sea monsters at least, and maybe lake monsters.
I would buy into sea monsters a little bit more than lake monsters, because obviously we haven't discovered all the depths of, let's say, Lake Champlain or Lake Erie or Loch Ness, because it's big. I mean, it's pretty fucking big. But it's a lot less likely, I'd say, for there to be a lake monster. But a sea monster now, obviously, we haven't even scratched the surface on discovering the bottom of the ocean yet. So, yeah. But I think a lot of those are mistaken too. I mean, what was it? Giant octopuses and stuff.
Well, there are giant squid.
Right. Squid.
And colossal squid now.
So this is 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row that Chris has dumped out of the hangout.
It's like he's just given up. He's given up the dream.
I think that it's a conspiracy, Richard, against you. Not me, because I wasn't here last week.
No.
But against you. I think, that whole mysterious thing about your past and your background and that shit. I think Chris is trying to bring it out, making you talk about it on live YouTube stream.
That might be it. Oh, he's back.
It's a big conspiracy.
Yeah,
we don't have dead air.
My computer decided to fucking lock up and reboot in the middle of the show.
2 weeks in a row.
No, actually, it's not 2 weeks in a row, Steve. That was a couple weeks ago.
No.
And the computer didn't lock up.
How many weeks did I miss? Just one. Oh, wait. We didn't have a show last week. That's right.
Correct, sir. As I wipe my nose.
We had moved on sea monster.
While you were gone, Chris, we resolved the entire lake monster, sea monster situation. So,
yep.
Oh, wonderful.
Taken care of.
I'm so glad that you guys could hash that out.
Mystery solved.
Yeah, we're gonna write to Wiki and be like, we solved it. So that's that
great.
done. Oh, for fuck! No, not gonna.
I guarantee, Chris, when you go back and watch this part of the stream, since you weren't here, there was no dead air, because Steve knows how to keep the show running.
Steve,
I had to sit here and direct the producer on how to keep the show running while you were gone.
He doesn't produce very well.
No, he doesn't direct very well either.
It's a fact. There have been studies. Richard does not produce very well.
I did get Mick West though. So
you did get Mick West. I got to give you that.
I'll always have that.
I mean, we can't get rid of him now because of the Mick West thing. I mean, I know we were talking about it and stuff, but
I have to give him a pass. Much like the Australian people get a pass from him, he gets a pass from me.
I can get another guest.
Let's hear this.
I can try and get any guest you want.
Any guest I want.
Well,
Jeremy Wade.
Well, I'll give it a shot. I'll get in touch with his people and be like, hey, do you want to do a webcast on a Sunday night?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to. I mean, we'll bend the rules a little bit for the right guest, and we did for Mick West a little bit. We started early and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we started an hour early. We really We really pushed the boat out.
We pushed the envelope. It's true. Steve is resolving issues at home currently. That's why he's muted.
Resolved-ish.
Ish?
Nah, we had a little bit of family drama crap. Nothing major, just things we have to figure out. That's all.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I saw that picture of you in that dress, Steve. And it looked pretty all right, but then your head sort of made the whole thing look really, really weird. It's like that was kind of the intention. It's like they photoshopped your head. Because apart from that, you looked all right in a dress.
I know. That's not, I've been in a dress a few times in my life. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm secure enough in my manhood.
Never said there was. Was complimenting you.
I like to wear women's clothing.
No. Okay. Here's the story.
Steve is much like Ed Wood. Just
like Loch Ness Monster and other sea serpents, certain clothing items are elusive and hard to find. And when I find one, I get excited and happy. And so I found this particular dress that's an elusive.
It makes me feel closer to women.
So I had to put it on because it fit me. It's a Hawaiian dress. It's a Hawaiian dress from the 1960s, and they're hard to come by. And you had to go to this certain resort to buy it back in the 60s, and it's worth quite a bit of money. So,
are you going to go through gender reassignment surgery?
No, but it's probably the most expensive thing I've ever worn.
Why not, Steve?
Well, except for that Harley coat I found yesterday.
Why wouldn't you do the gender reassignment surgery? You're wearing dresses.
I think my gender is perfectly okay.
Are you like Frankenfurter from the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I don't know. I'm not sure who that is.
Are you serious?
I mean, I've seen it, but it's been so many years I can't remember.
Steve, you know.
Can't remember.
You know who I speak of.
No, I don't. Actually, Meatloaf was in that, right?
Oh, my dear Jesus. I wonder why I keep you around.
Listen, I grew up.
There's a talent.
I grew up on a farm. We didn't have cable TV. We didn't rent movies. We farmed. So that's what I did when I was a kid. I didn't watch that shit.
Now, you say farm. Was it like a compoundy thing?
A what?
Were there like wolves and guards and you weren't allowed to talk to strangers and...
Not that kind of farm.
I'm just saying, it would explain a lot.
Steve grew up in a cult.
Yeah, I totally buy that.
He grew up in a cult.
Well, no.
Much like Waco, except it didn't have the same ending. It just kind of fizzled out.
They worship the sacred ceramic frog.
We grew watermelons and turnip greens and stuff like that.
That sounds exciting, Steve.
Pumpkins and squash and cabbages, peppers and tomatoes, strawberries and berries of all sorts.
It was a good time.
Thanks for sharing, Steve.
No, it wasn't a good time. I had to work through my entire childhood. It sucked.
Yeah, but it made you into the man you are today.
And what kind of man is that?
Well,
one who puts on Hawaiian dresses and
one who puts on Hawaiian dresses
has his wife post them on Facebook.
Wears cowboy hats and eats spam and sells stuff on eBay.
Steve, you're not really bolstering the case that your wife is actually your wife.
My wife is my wife. Securely, we're secure in our secure enough in our relationship to allow me to put on a dress for a gag and post it on Facebook.
Did you smoke Camels when you smoked normal cigarettes?
You say gay.
I have smoked camels, but I'm not a fan of camels. No.
You're the kind of man. You strike me as the kind of man that smoked camels.
No, I smoked the cheapest shit I could find. Like
That
Doral
is
was the
camels,
cheapest for a long
isn't it?
time. No, not around here. It ain't. Camels are premium cigarette around here.
It's premium.
Well, you know,
Top
it's
of the
like
line.
Marlboros, like Marlboros and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were on sale. Those ones where you squished the filter and it made the menthol thingy.
Oh, I hate those
Those were
fucking
good.
things.
I love
I
those.
hate them because the people that smoke them never fucking crush the little thing in them.
Oh,
Why
I
buy
always
them?
did.
Why
I
buy
did.
them?
Well, more
But I
importantly,
only
why
smoke
not just
those
get
when they're on
normal
sale.
menthol cigarettes?
Well, because it gives you a little extra burst of menthol is what that little capsule
Extra
does.
burst.
And I like a minty cigarette myself. You know,
It's like the liquid center of the what's that gum there that had the liquid center you bit into. Can't remember it.
you mean the sucker?
Not the sucker.
No, he's
What?
telling the truth. There was a gum that had a liquid center. I can't remember what it's called
Oh
either.
yeah, I remember that gum. That was good stuff.
There you go. See?
I think Burst was in the title.
No,
I think Burst was in there somewhere.
I don't think so.
Burst
I'm
makes
pretty
sense.
sure.
I'm going to agree with Steve on this. If ever there was a time to use the word burst.
Is there a chat room tonight? Somebody in the chat room, I don't know.
There is always a chat room, Steve.
I'm not allowed to look at the chat room, so I don't know anymore.
They're all pretty much making fun of you for wearing a dress at the moment.
You know,
As they
can
should.
go fuck themselves. They can go move to Norway for all I care.
Fuck their moose.
Or no, not Norway, New Zealand. They go. Here's my advice to the chat room. Fuck you and the moose you rode in on.
There you go, Steve. You got it in.
What did moose have anything to do with it?
It's the new thing.
You're out of
Fuck
the
your
loop.
moose.
He's out of the loop, Richard.
You're out of the loop.
I guess. I don't know that I was ever in the loop tonight.
The moose thing has been going on for.
I don't know that I want to be in your loop, Steve.
Listen,
The moose.
Let me explain this one more time, all right?
Wearing dresses, your beard of a wife is posting them online.
I'm secure enough in my manhood and in my marriage to be able to put a dress on and still be a man.
Okay.
The chat room accepts that explanation.
There you go.
They
but
don't.
You gotta get behind the moose thing, Chris.
I don't know what moose thing I got to get behind.
You'll figure it out in time.
I don't understand.
And because it's the new thing, and there's gonna be like T-shirts, and
I don't know what moose have anything to do with this.
it'll be all over your television set and your Facebook and YouTube and everything else pretty soon.
It's gonna take Twitter by storm. People are gonna be saying "fuck your moose."
I guess.
Hey.
That's Canadian.
Oh yeah. Well, because moose there's Canadian moose.
Canadian moose are better than American moose.
And Canadians say "fuck your moose." Just the way it is.
That's
Yeah, you got to put the A back there.
You're gonna be like "fuck your moose," eh?
All Canadians say A.
They do. It's a scientific fact.
Mm-hmm. There's been studies.
There have been studies. Seriously, do you know?
Have been.
There have been studies that this is a horrid piece of shit of a show.
Oh, it's not as bad
It's
as
a Loch Ness Monster show.
I thought it was Lake Monsters.
Well,
we
Lake
solved
Monster,
that.
Loch Ness Monster, something. We solved it when you were gone. There's no.
Yeah, we put that in a nice little box and put a ribbon on it. It's done. It's over.
In fact, I think it's so solved that nobody will ever talk about Lake Monsters again.
Yeah, Mensa's calling me and they're like, "Richard, you and Steve have solved the lake monster thing. Kudos. Can you do something about flat earthers?"
Could you please both go hang yourselves is what they asked.
We've pretty much decided that lake monsters probably don't exist.
Oh, I know something we can talk about. I forgot.
Oh.
I had a long conversation with Michael Merchant the other night.
Oh my God.
And according to him, Steve, you stabbed him in the back.
What?
So
how did I do that?
I think it's only fair.
No, I need an explanation here. What did I do to stab him in the back?
He wouldn't elaborate. He just said he'd been stabbed in the back, and then he wrote a long list of people that had stabbed him in the back, and your name came up. So
I was on the list. Was Chris on the list too?
No, Chris was not on the list.
Well, that's weird because Chris was the fucking ringleader.
I was the ringleader.
Remember?
You were the guy that organised the mass stabbing in the back.
I was sitting there with a top hat and a fucking curly Q mustache. Just
no, seriously, I don't recall stabbing him in the back, but if I did, you know, whatever.
I want to know. I want to know what you did.
Explanation.
I want to know the actual.
I would like
thing
an
that you did.
explanation of the actual stabbing. I don't want blood on my hands. You know? Because
we wouldn't stand behind Lupe Mendoza's photo.
Well, I think that's it. I think he still considers it that we were all trying to get on the TV show just like he was. And that's his mentality, I believe. Now, this is just opinion. His mentality is that everybody's like him. You know, our end goal is to make money off of this shit or some bullshit, which it isn't. I mean, it would be nice, but it isn't. And so if he has that mentality, we must have that mentality. And so by disagreeing with him on that subject, then we stabbed him in the back. That's got to be the explanation.
Here we go. Here's a conversation. We were talking about Johnson.
Wait. Is this a private conversation, Richard?
Well, it happened over PM. Why?
So that's private messaging?
Okay, I won't read it then.
No. That's private messaging, right?
Yeah.
Then it's fair game. Go ahead.
He says, I wanted him to be a good guy. I try to see the good in people, but they usually stab me in the back. Like Phil Pulling, Jeff Kelly, Steve Alcorn, Rose Sahibi, and now Johnson can join the crew. They like me as long as they think being connected to me promotes them, until they decide they want the whole pie to themselves, and then the blades come out.
So I wanted the whole pie.
So you wanted the whole pie, Steve. Your slice wasn't good enough, and I think you should apologize to Michael Merchant.
In fact, I will apologize, and he can have the fucking pie.
Listen,
I don't want it.
Steve wanted a pie, but it's a pie he no longer wants anymore.
I was misled. I thought it was going to be banana cream, and it turned out to be fucking cherry, and I hate cherry pie.
Steve didn't catch that fucking blow I just dealt him.
I don't catch half the shit you deal me, so it's no big deal.
That's okay. Nobody else caught it either, but I got a good chuckle out of it.
As long as you amuse yourself. That's all that's the answer. We just solved two things in the show: the lake monster mystery and the answer to life.
The universe.
As long as you amuse yourself.
And everything.
That's it. You're good to go.
You guys are just fucking knocking them down tonight. Setting them up and knocking them down.
We're on a roll. Give us anything, and we can solve it. You know.
Listen, I want to address that Michael Merchant situation one more time.
Listen, if there's a problem, he'll solve it. To bring it back to Vanilla Ice.
Come on, Steve. Fix the Michael Merchant problem. Mend some bridges. This can be a spiritual healing experience. Go.
Oh, I wasn't going to mend a bridge.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna dig a deeper hole.
Fair enough.
You just fucked it up.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were setting them up and knocking them down.
Chris and I have both stated on the show that we both admired. I know I have admired Michael Merchant when he first came out and what he was doing, and then he just took a turn that we didn't agree with, and it was over a stupid photo, And we thought it was fake. He thought it was real, allegedly. And that was it. And so if that's wanting my piece of the pie, then I guess I got it. But yeah, he can have that pie now. He can eat it too.
Well, you can disagree with someone without falling out with them, though. I mean,
it wasn't. Well, it was there's a long backstory to it that I'd rather. I mean, we've discussed it ad nauseum on this show, but and other shows, and it's just in Facebook groups and all sorts of places. So, and to be fair, we didn't publicly say anything for like a year or two after the incident.
While you waited for the restraining orders to expire.
Yeah, right. It was, had it not been for Bigfoot Bounty, I think things probably would have come out differently. Yeah, we were all vying to be on that show, but a lot of weird, stupid crap shit happened, and some of us made it, some of us didn't. I would have never given up a friendship to be on a television show. It wasn't about that for me. I thought it would be a great adventure, but I wouldn't have given up a friendship for it.
Oh, it was an adventure, all right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it did end a lot of friendships. And I mean, without that show, and not even the Lupe Mendoza photo thing, which is public knowledge by now, but
it did get me some vagina.
But even without that, I think because of the show, because of the competitive nature of that particular show and that time in history, it brought out some of the real personalities of the people involved. And now we know that maybe they weren't really the people we thought they were, including myself.
I would have watched if you and Chris had been on it. That would have been fucking hilarious.
Chris and I wouldn't have been teammates, though. I had another teammate, and Chris would have had a different teammate.
No, you should have. That's where you went wrong. You should.
Yeah, I think you're right. But see, here's the thing: we didn't set up the teams. Somebody set those up for us, basically.
My team was, it crashed and burned in the end.
Well, basically, mine did too. Nobody hears from my teammate anymore. Where's the guy that I was supposed to be on that show with?
Well done, Dean. I got to give a shout out to Dean for that. That fucking.
All right, what did he say?
He said Bigfoot Bounty made all those careers take off like a rocket. Look how world famous they all are now.
No, see, here's the thing, though. It didn't take off for anybody, but yet they're still believing it did. Some of them, and that brought out, like I said, it brought out the real personalities behind the Facebook groups and the internet, YouTube channels. It brought out some of the real personalities of some of those people, and now we know better. So, and it still continues to this day. Some of those people, and I'm not going to mention names, but it just, because of the tiny bit of stardom some of those people have, it gets bigger and bigger, their ego, and they're trying so hard to gain some of that back that it just fucking backfires on them at every turn.
So who are you supposed to be with, Chris?
Oh,
are we going to mention that?
If you don't want to mention, just say it. And
I think you had a female partner. That's as far as we'll go.
I had a female partner. She may or may not have been from Northern California.
Well, we'll say no more.
She may or may not have a master's degree in biology.
I would like to say that.
And she may or may not be married now. To a gentleman with bitch lips.
I can't figure out who you're.
Can we get him on the show
at all? I bet you not.
Yeah, no, he's not.
I bet you that would be the one person out of all the people in the entire world we could not get on this show. Unless you weren't on the show, Chris. If it was just me and Richard, yes, I think we could do it.
Think you could pull it off?
Yeah, but with you on the show, I don't think so. But we can still try. Richard, you got an in.
Yeah, no, I have asked, and
you're from the same country and all, so you should know him and all.
I did ask.
The response was,
he's not interested.
Fuck no.
Huh.
Fuck no, I'm sure is what the answer was.
He politely declined.
Politely.
So nobody in the history, except for the people involved in the Bigfoot Bounty Show, knows who my partner was going to be. So for the first time ever, I'm going to reveal who my partner was going to be.
Richard Simmons.
Almost. You're close.
Oh.
Some of you will remember this name, and some of you will not. It was. You guys ready? Drum roll. Anybody got a drum?
No. Please don't do that.
My partner was going to be Damian Bravo.
Well, really?
Yeah, seriously. And we didn't set up a partnership.
Thanks for sucking all the air out of the fucking show, Steve.
Yeah, I didn't even know who. I mean, I knew Damian from the Team Taser group, and I knew him from the podcast, but I had never spoken to him.
I knew Johnny Bravo.
One day I get a call. Not a call, a message from Damian. And he says, Michael Merchant wants to talk to me. And him together. And Michael Merchant is basically the guy who set up all the teams for that show.
He didn't set up my team.
No, but most of them he did. So he's the one who was the fact. I mean, that's how, because Bill was supposed to be Richter's partner, and that didn't work out, but he's the one who came up with oh God, Dax.
Dax
maybe.
Dax Rushlow. That boy can drink.
But anyway, at least for my team, and I know some of the others, Michael Merchant was instrumental in putting those teams together because he says that the producers wanted him to help out making up teams. And of course, you would stack it with Team Taser members. Why wouldn't you, right? So that's why a lot of the teams were former Taser members. So.
Stacey Brown Jr. won. Let's just get that out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think part of it, and like I said, that this is my opinion only, but I think Merchant's still pretty bitter over that he didn't win that show.
Well, I mean, he made it to the last episode.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you make it to the last episode. Nobody remembers that you won that show or you lost. Nobody remembers that you lost that show. They just remember the fact that.
And nobody remembers either of their partners.
Nobody remembers that show, period.
There you go.
Who was Kat McKechnie, I think, was Merchant's partner.
Yeah.
And David Lauer was Stacey Brown's partner.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think David and Stacey still do stuff.
I haven't heard from anything from Stacey Brown Jr. in ages. The last time I heard, he'd gone woo.
Well, because it was the popular thing at the moment. Did you notice that? Everybody went woo at the same time.
Yeah,
all these
weird.
non-woo people, I mean. It's because it was the thing to do at the time. There must have been some sort of... Because these guys, a lot of them, have an ear to the ground when it comes to what TV shows they'll be producing and things like that. So they want to know, because that's what they want. That's their goal. They want to be on TV, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's your goal. I'd like you to be upfront and honest about it, but hey, whatever.
Sure.
But so I'm guessing somebody somewhere was going to produce a show that dealt with that because Rick Dyer went woo, Stacey Brown went woo, Michael Merchant went woo. They all did at the same.
And Ric Flair went woo.
Don't reference that.
So anyway, there's our background on some reasons why we don't hang out with Michael Merchant anymore.
Give Tim Fasano a TV show and just be him with a camera on his face. I'll watch it.
Why can't we get Tim Fasano?
I'll ask him. I mean, he doesn't hate us, so.
I mean,
No, Tim thinks I'm a fine.
We may
fine
reference his photogenic ability, but nothing but love for the man. I love a man who records his videos from his taxi.
I love a man who uploads a video, claims it's a skunk ape, and the next day takes it down. It's great shit.
This is good times.
Upload the second video explaining or an expanded version of that video, and then takes them both down.
Let's talk to Mr. Fasano.
I'll reach out.
How about we should try to get Nathan Rio on the show.
Yeah.
You think he'd do it?
He's Nathan Rio and he dances in the sand.
You know, he put on his fucking Patreon account. He did a live hangout with someone and he put it on his Patreon account. You have to pay to see it.
Oh, you know who he did the live hangout? Wait, here's the great thing. And I don't follow Bigfoot shit hardly at all anymore, but a lot of it still pops up on my timeline because 90% of my Facebook friends are still Bigfoot people because I'm not one of these people who go through their list and prune friends. I just leave it, you know? And I'll still accept a friend request from anybody. I don't have a problem with that. Unless they're, you know, like a real good-looking chick because I know it's a fake profile. But obviously. And I get a lot of those. And yeah. I know I'm not that good-looking a guy to get those kind of...
Everybody gets those, Steve.
Right. So anyway, other than that, I accept everybody as a friend request. I don't care who you are. It doesn't bother me. I don't have anybody blocked on Facebook, including Michael Barchin. Nobody. Not a single person. Where was I going with that?
I don't know.
Oh,
Nathan Rio did a live hangout.
Okay. So I still see some of this stuff on my timeline when I care to look. And so it popped up on my timeline that Nathan Rio had done this podcast and put it on his Patreon, so you have to pay to see it. And guess who the guest was?
What?
Fucking Squatch Master Jeff Patterson. Who's going to pay to see that fucking shit? Who's going to pay to see that? And guess who some of the guest speakers at the Sasquatch Summit are this year?
I don't know who.
One of them is Jeff Patterson.
Oh, piss off.
And another one is Tim Fasano.
That's fine.
Well, yeah, Tim's entertaining.
Tim is very entertaining. Jeff Patterson's just, oh God, how many times you got to bust him?
I want everybody on in the chat right now. I want you to do this and see how it turns out for you. Send a friend request to Jeff Patterson on Facebook and see what you get. I did it one time just for a lark because I wanted to follow what he was doing. That's back when I was doing all the investigating stuff. And he sends you a list of like 50 questions that you have to answer before he'll friend you. It's hilarious.
You have to fill out a questionnaire.
Basically, yes. Why do you want to be my friend? Who are you? You know, all this kind of... I mean, it was a long list of things you had to answer just for him to accept your friend request.
Well, the poor guy's been the victim of everybody pointing out all the hoaxes he's pulled off over the years. I mean...
Oh, yeah. When you point it out, I guess that would make him a victim of the truth.
I mean, he really went after Phil, though. I mean, like... Tried its hardest. Made loads of videos.
You know, Phil has the upper hand, and there's a reason for that. Phil has common sense. Sometimes.
Have you ever spoken to him after a few drinks?
Well, yeah, but you could be drunk off your ass, high, and, you know, like hanging by your balls on a string, and still have more sense than fucking Jeff Patterson. Huh?
Nothing. Just good times, Steve. Hey, do you remember that time we had Mick West?
I do.
Wow.
You know what I'd say if we had Mick West on again?
What?
Fuck your moose.
Yes.
It's not taking off.
Oh, it is.
No, it's not. This
Oh,
has been
trust me.
episode 157 of the Fortean Slip. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Check out Richard's blog. The link is below the show on YouTube. In the description the description section.
Descriptor.
That thing. Check out Matt Knapp at youtube.com/bigfootcrossroads. As always, check out Dred Funn at dredfunn.com and youtube.com/Dred Funn. Hopefully we can be back next week with another show to completely obliterate any fan base that we have.
Hey, anyone that still
left.
listens after this is committed. I don't think we're going to get rid of them.
Or they should be committed. One of the other.
But
such is life. See ya.